Right, let's get on straight with showbiz, and one of the big stories we're having coming out of showbiz is that so McDerry, our own darling McDerry, has actually resigned.
Yes,
and we've heard from Ms.
the exclusive events as well. They
didn't waste time at all.
Not at all. So, first off, let's start with a conversation that Manasseh Azuri had with Meg Derry. Yeah. Weeks before she actually resigned, and he had a conversation because he wanted to know what really is the issue with Miss Ghana, and she actually told him certain things that we know have led to this resignation. So let's throw back to that conversation.
And I just feel that there are so many hardworking women out there. There are so many powerful women out there who have never even had a crown on their heads, but they've still made it. They've still been able to push in life, and they've still been able to work their way to where they want to work to get to. So I just feel I have so much more to offer than having a crown of a burden on my head and allowing people to make me feel like I'm nothing without them.
So it's not a crown of glory?
It's when you go out and when people see you, when people don't know all this, they feel it's a crown of glory. They think you have everything you want in life, and they think you are sorted for the rest of your life. You don't have to even lift a finger, but when you are inside it, you know it's a burden. It's a really big burden.
So this is just part of a lengthy interview Manasseh Azuri had with Margaret Derry. He's had conversation with some past beauty queens as well as what these reality shows really offer, whether there's more to it than what we see on the evening they are crowned. So maybe gradually we'll get to hear more from Margaret, who is not speaking anymore after she's confirmed that she's resigned. Like you're saying, exclusive events have responded to her resignation, and that the statement they claim has been released by the Public Affairs Department. We don't have any name to whoever at the Public Affairs Department. There's no name stated, that maybe inner party or whoever, but this is what the statement that has been put out says. Israel, you help us.
All right, so that statement is actually available on my Joy Online. It says, Exclusive Events Ghana gladly accepts the resignation of Margaret Derry. It has come to our attention through the media that the winner of the 2017 edition of the Miss Ghana Beauty Pageant, Margaret Derry, has resigned. The management of Exclusive Events Ghana, the organizers of the Miss Ghana Beauty Pageant, have gladly accepted the resignation of Margaret Derry in good faith. The major vision of Exclusive Events Ghana is to promote the culture of discipline, respect for authority, good corporate governance, and use the crown to change the lives of the vulnerable and deprived communities. Okay, we did our very best to lead the winners and runners up of the beauty pageant to live and act in accordance with the major vision. That is the more reason why we recently commissioned and donated a water project to the Nabuli Witch Camp in Gusau in the northern region of Ghana. Unfortunately, Margaret Derry never showed up for the program for reasons best known to her. Management of Exclusive Events Ghana are very focused and ever determined to use the Miss Ghana Beauty Pageant to help the poor, needy, and the vulnerable in rural areas and deprived communities, and absolutely nothing can distract us from this noble journey. We wish Margaret Derry well in her next career, and we do pray that she will uphold the ethics of professionalism, respect for contracts, as well as show the necessary respect to the new authority she finds herself under, issued by Public Affairs Department. But, some of the things they have in there, you know, quite interesting. They speak volumes if they say that we do pray that she would uphold you know,
professionalism and respect for contracts. That is where people are raising eyebrows, because you know that we've heard that the contract states that you can only own the car after you have been well behaved, and well behaved underlined at the discretion of the organizers.
That's a tough one.
Very. So at this point that they are reminding her of contracts, we don't know what will happen. But I have seen videos of what Ina Maria Party has been up to today. She's been going for sponsorship deals from some people who are interested in 2018 edition. And on Thursday, there will be a launch for the 2018 edition. Yeah. So we're looking forward to hearing more when that edition is launched.
That's as if they would speak, because they usually...
If you're not speaking, this is a big issue. If you're not speaking to it now, when do you speak to it? How many people will be comfortable to let their girls come join 2018 pageantry when they can't hear answers from the organizers?
You'll be surprised, lots.
Well,
people who can't just wait to go join MUSIGA.
Really?
Yes.
And they come tell us the next story same time next year?
Well, yeah.
I won't cover that, seriously. I would ask them, where were you? Anyway, let's move on and talk about Nana Appiah-Mensah's tweet now telling us on record that Bulldog is still with the firm. He says he's not sacked him, that we should wish him well. Let's see the tweet, and once again, Israel.
All right, so Nana Appiah-Mensah, alias Bulldog, still holds office as the artist manager for Xylophone Music. He has neither been fired nor resigned. Support him to succeed. Hashtag Ghana shall prosper.
Okay, so there's a response from Bulldog himself, who claims that he puts a picture of himself and Nana Appiah-Mensah, and he says, I think he says to pray for them or something like that. I don't know whether the tweet also is ready, but he also has confirmed that he's still with them, and he says that, oh, pray for us, who say whatever. Okay, so away from that, we can talk about the married Sarkodie. Now, Akwaboah, who is a signee of Sax's Music, had a cocktail event, and then Sarkodie was there with his wife, like flaunting his ring and telling us now what he makes of Akwaboah and the Akwaboah generation. Akwaboah's grandfather was a musician, his father a musician, and he is a musician. So here's what Sarkodie said about them.
I want to see the legendary Akwaboah. The grandfather was a legend, the dad was a legend, and now he is here at our time. I think it's very rare to find serious and deep musician at our point, the hip life era, because I think most time we can get away with doing, the Fruity Loops, the computer-based music, which is way easier. It's hard to find people who want to let the instruments play everything. And if someone is here who loves my album Mary, which is kind of my favorite album ever. It was 90% written and produced by Akwaboah, and I give props to him. The first time I met him, that is exactly what I said. I told Akwaboah, the next phase of my life is in your hands, and I want you to give me a masterpiece, and he surely did. To date, that's an album that when I play to date, I still feel like the first time we recorded, and that's the power of good music.
Some accolades.
Yeah. And people say they've noticed that there's been changes. This is the first time I'm seeing Sarkodie after he got married. Right. But some people said he's noticed changes in his way of appearance. So the dressing has changed.
Oh well, yeah. Well,
this is the first time. So let's say we haven't noticed. Let's see what will happen the next time we find Sarkodie.
The African outfit.
Hey, you want to talk about that one?
Yeah,
remember when he said what he said about Manifest putting on African wear?
Oh, I mean, no, he was talking about Kaba.
So this one is not rapper or Shekaba. Anyway, quickly before I go, Nana Tuffour 9924. Some people decide to call him. Has been speaking. He was on the Cosmopolitan mix with Sammy Foss, who's starting for Doreen Ando, and here's what he had to say about the music industry.
Outside and within Ghana.
Okay, so from Gamro and all that, they actually pay you money.
Yeah, they pay me.
I see. And is it good enough?
Well, it's part on our shoulders, but it's better than nothing at all.
So,
at least they've appreciated your work.
So do you think the music industry is growing compared to the days when you were in your element?
Well, it's growing. Comparatively, yes.
Because the young ones can complain there are no structures in the industry and MUSIGA is not doing anything to make sure that the artist
do they even come
is safe?
To our meetings? To let people know what they are even thinking of. They don't come.
But you still go for all MUSIGA meetings?
Yes. We we go. We hold meetings for Gamro. Even when was it? I think last Tuesday they did that in Kumasi. They will be calling people MUSIGA for other meetings. They won't come. Come, voice out your problems, so we together we can solve them.
Okay, so this is one of my favorite Nana Tuffour song. Abeku.
Once he did the song and Abeku, everybody, every naughty boy is called.
Well, Abeku. But you know, he wasn't able to tell us before saying how he got this Abeku track.
It could be that it actually happened to him. There was an Abeku in his life.
That was worrying the process.
Disrupting things.
You see that thing?
Killing fire.
Hey, it looks like it too. You know some.
I'm just referring to the video.
So you don't know any Abeku?
No.
Okay. You cannot even know any Abeku. Thank you for having me.
Thank you to Ms. G for bringing us a show today.